When you see women and men with tattoos and all forces, what's the first thing comes to your mind? First thing you might ask yourself is it necessary or do I need them to be in the armed forces? Well, the question is not whether or not it's necessary. It may just tell a bigger story of the wearer itself. I myself serve in the armed forces and I have a few tattoos of my own. I know there's other hundreds and thousands of other soldiers that serve in the armed forces that wear tattoos as well. Which brings me to talk about the evolution of tattoos in the armed forces. So let's begin when it all started. It was stated in an article of Veterans of Wars that the practicing of tattoos can be found on mummies as early back as 4000 BC. Tattoos and other body modifications have seen paramount during those times, and reputation for warriors for hundreds of thousands of years. In Western culture, tattoos found that in Roman Empire soldiers were tatted and with permanent dots used as means of identification or unit identification to show where they belong. In many different cultures, tattoos was used as a way to show success in war or accomplishments they may have had in war. Also, these tattoos or wearers give a story of their ancestry or social standards, which meaning, you have guys that have a higher social standing, higher class of living. So let's forward about, let's say, earlier times which we could relate to, where the soldiers and tattoos have a connection. So, like during the American Revolutionary, soldiers and sailors also had tattoos to show identification and ways to avoid being recruited illegally by the British Army. Military men frequently mark themselves while something that shows allegiance or something that shows what they do. They profession, for example, like a battle, a flag, cross guns, skulls, and the list goes on. It was stated that some soldiers believed tattooing a pig or a rooster on their ankle kept them from drowning, and that was a form of way of superstition that a lot of soldiers and sailors used during those times. But with that all stated, how are tattoos perceived in our armed forces today? As you know, we have went through a lot of changes and a lot of different aspects of the rules with tattooing in the armed forces. In 2009, the Army reported that some 90% of combat soldiers had at least one tattoo. That's a high percentage even when general population is said to have 1 in 5. Army Regulation 670-1 has been updated frequently and is still ongoing as I speak now. In the past few years, which has been more accepting to service members having tattoos. The former Army Chief of Staff, General Ordinero, stated in one of his speeches saying that the times is changing and we need to change with them. As we can see, the evolution of tattoos in the armed forces has come a long way. This is just a small sample of how our world is ever changing and evolving, and how things are constantly, rapidly changing. So those who want to express themselves with tattoos or express their way through art, through tattoos, hey, do it. Believe in it, because guess what? Uncle Sam says you could. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy my video and get those tattoos.